Hello, and welcome to the third video in the Speaking of Fairview series. This is Speaking of Fairview, and I'm your host today, Izzy Germain, here to share with you what's up with the Tigers today as they focus on academics, athletics, and the arts. Speaking of Fairview, I'm here at Fairview High School today to talk about how to apply to Penn State University. Penn State has 76,000 undergraduates university-wide. These undergraduates are spread across 19 different campuses all throughout the state of Pennsylvania. Today I am going to be sharing with you how to apply to Penn State, one of these campuses, through the Penn State application portal with Mrs. Jensen and Melissa Grimm, an admissions representative from Penn State.
Great. Well, thank you both for joining me today for a wonderful how to apply to Penn State. I'm so excited to learn how to apply. So today I am going to pretend that I am a student applying to Penn State. So what is the first step that I should do?
So you would actually go to the Penn State website, which is located at psu.edu.
Edu. Okay, it's already here.
All right.
Okay.
Terrific. And in the upper right-hand corner, you see apply.
Okay.
Great.
And then after that, I'm going to scroll down.
Right. And so you'll follow the links for first-year students. So if you go up just a little bit on the screen.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
There you go. That's okay. And then to the far left, you'll see first-year students.
Okay, so click on the first-year students.
Yeah. And this may look a little different than when you went through this previously. We just had an update to our website.
Oh, that's awesome. So it'll be,
yeah,
that's nice. Okay.
All right. So your first step in applying. So if you want to, you can go to, on the right-hand side where you see future students, steps to apply.
Steps to apply. Okay.
Yep. And this is good. I think this is a great beginning overview because it really sort of goes through the steps, things that you need to be thinking about. Okay. Well, I think it's never too early to start looking at this information. I think, as we look at this, and when I'm talking with students, it's really difficult to leave high school and know exactly what your major will be. Penn State offers over 275 different degree options. So the earlier you start to look, I think the better off you are because you start to familiarize yourself with opportunities. There are programs that are at Penn State that are, for instance, our major in psychology is offered at a variety of different Penn State campuses. And the curriculum for the various psychology offerings can differ a little bit depending upon where it's offered. So one of the things that I think is helpful is to go to a website, which is bulletins.psu.edu. And in there, you can not only look at majors, but you can actually go look at specific courses. So if you're looking at a psychology major and you think, wow, I wonder what's involved in Psych 213. I see it on the recommended academic plan. You can actually go look at the course content for Psychology 213. So it really depends on how specific you want to be in your search, but there's some great information out there. And honestly, I encourage students all the way through high school to just start looking at those things. At Penn State, in most majors, we don't expect you to know what your program of study will be. We don't ask you to declare a major until sometime during your sophomore year.
Oh, that's nice.
A few exceptions to that. Our nursing program is basically a direct admission program. You do need to know that from the beginning. Architecture, another program. Our programs in some of the programs in arts and architecture, our musical theater, our music programs, theater arts, things like that. It's helpful to know up front. Some of our engineering technology programs start in their sequence pretty early, so it's helpful to know those kinds of things. But in terms of most programs, you don't definitively need to make that decision until your sophomore year.
Awesome. Wonderful. Okay, so go to step 4 and create a My Penn State account. Is that what I click next?
First step is going to be to create a My Penn State account, correct? You would click on the yellow box that says new to My Penn State and create a My Penn State profile.
Okay.
Okay, so this is an important question. There are 3 different ways that you can apply to Penn State: through the My Penn State application, through the Common Application, or through the Coalition application. In this instance, we're going to be using the My Penn State application. But sometimes students will get started with the Common App or the Coalition application and list in there as one of their schools. It's not beneficial to have your name on more than one application. It actually kind of it confuses the process. So if you're using the My Penn State, you need to make sure you don't have Penn State on either of those other applications, which is why it asks this question.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, and would you recommend applying to the Penn State application? I know I talked to Mrs. Jensen a little while ago, but would you recommend Common App, Coalition, or the My Penn State application?
I'm a fan of the My Penn State for a variety of reasons. I think it's very straightforward. If you apply through the Common Application or the Coalition application, you still have to create a My Penn State account, and you still need to complete Penn State's self-reported academic record. Although there's a reporting mechanism in the Common Application and the Coalition application to present your grades, we don't use it as part of our Penn State information. We don't pull that in from the Common App or the Coalition application. So you actually have to go into My Penn State to create that anyway. So quite honestly, I think My Penn State is the most straightforward. Most years, Fairview brings the entire 9th grade class to Penn State Barron to visit. If a student has visited a campus other than our University Park campus, we can waive the application fee. And up until very recently, the only way I could do that is through My Penn State. So it's always kind of been my standard to say, I think it's most beneficial for you to do that, the My Penn State application.
Yeah, and when I applied, oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I think from our end in the school counseling office, I think we see lots of confusion when students apply through Common App to for Penn State, because as Mrs. Grimm said, it's going to take you out of, when you get to the college specific section of the Common App, it's going to ask you to leave that section and complete that self-reported academic record. So I think it is definitely easier to apply to Penn State using My Penn State.
And as a student, who has just gone through this, it's kind of difficult to apply your entire transcript and self-report your entire transcript on the Common App and then do it again on another thing. I think it'd just be easier just to apply to the My Penn State application. So again, I recommend that as well as someone who just went through this. So awesome. Okay, so I have not already submitted an application through the Common App or Coalition application.